Much for being here. I'm glad you guys came today. My name is Mr. Wheeler. Let's start off with introductions. My name is Mr. Wheeler, and I know I had you guys write your names down, but just tell me your names. Peter, I can see that. Kamora, nice to meet you. Lena, and Dylan. All right. So today, what I wanted to talk about, what does it say at the top of our page there? The scale of the solar system. So the first thing I want you guys to do is to take a minute, and I would like you to answer the first question. And even if you don't know it, I just want you guys to put as much as you know or your best guess. What does the question say? Will somebody volunteer to read the question for us? You want me to read it? It says, what is the solar system? Just write it. Just put whatever you know. Even if you think it might not be right, that's okay. We're going to talk about it. If you think of anything else, you can have it in there while people are finishing. Just answer the first one right now. We'll answer it. I mean, you can put a note there for yourself. Don't write the whole thing in, but you can start writing it. Okay, why don't you raise your hand if you're done? I'll give you about 30 more seconds, okay? Does that sound okay? Okay, we'll do 30 more seconds. Okay, go ahead and finish up what you're writing, and we'll start talking about it here. Okay, would somebody like to share with us what they wrote? Do I have a volunteer? And you guys should know that I like to give volunteers candy. I have a bunch of leftover. So if anybody likes candy, I would suggest. You don't like candy? How about just somebody share with us what they wrote? Okay, what did you write?
The solar system is a place outside of the Earth's atmosphere. It contains many other planets and moons.
Thank you. So, could I say it a little louder for you? You said that the solar system is a place outside of the Earth's atmosphere, so it's like outer space. And then it contains, read the last part.
It contains many other planets and moons.
So it's got planets and moons. Raise your hand if you agree that the solar system contains planets and moons. Who agrees with that? You agree with that? Do you guys agree with, do you think the solar system has planets and moons? Do you say yes or no? Yes. Okay, so you guys are actually on the right track. The definition, the easy definition, did you guys notice how I underlined the S-O-L in solar? Does anybody here speak Spanish? Sí. ¿Cómo se dice sol en inglés?
Sol.
What does it mean in English?
Sol.
It's right up there? Sun.
Oh, sun.
So I put that in there in case anybody knows Spanish. The word sol means sun in Spanish. So that's a good way to remember it. The solar system is the sun and everything orbiting around the sun. Do you guys know what orbiting means? You know how it flies around in a circle? So the solar system is our sun, and then all the planets and all the stuff that orbits around the sun. So I'm just going to write a simple definition. The sun and all the objects orbiting it. So it's a real general definition, but that way we include all the asteroids, we include all the moons. We're not just saying planets, we're saying all the stuff. So it includes moons, includes the planets. Sun and all objects orbiting the sun. Okay, so let's move on to our next one here. Does anybody know, is anybody here good at math? You like math? So the second question here, could you read that for us?
What is the diameter of a circle or sphere?
Okay, so why don't you guys take a second and write that? We'll give you like 1 minute. If you don't know it, don't worry too much about it because we're going to explain it. But I just want to see what you guys know right now. Okay? So if you know what the diameter of a circle, it's pretty much the same thing for a sphere. So if you guys took math or geometry or something and they explained it, if you don't know what it is, don't worry about it though. Just put a question mark. If you guys don't know. Yeah, just put a question mark if you're not sure. That's okay, guys. Oh, very nice. You put it in mathematical form there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and talk about it real quick. Does anybody know what the radius is of that circle? I bet Lena does, right? Okay. So when you have a circle like this, the distance from one side to the other side, and it goes right through the center. So you're basically going up to the middle of the circle or the sphere, could be a big ball, and you're measuring straight across through the middle. And that's how you figure out how wide it is. It's called the diameter. So why don't you guys, you can either write down that the diameter goes from one side to the other through the center, or you could draw this picture. If you guys like drawing pictures, and that's a better way to remember it, you guys draw a picture. If you guys would rather write it out and explain it to yourself, then that's okay too. So why don't you guys go ahead and either draw something similar to what I drew, so that you guys remember what a diameter is, or write out. And if you need help, just raise your hand and I'll come over and help. Okay guys, now we're gonna start getting into things. You already started skipping ahead and started reading, so did you get to this one? Oh, I messed up my numbering. Is that what you're laughing at? What 3 objects in our solar system can you see almost every day? Go ahead and say it.
Oh, the moon, the sun, and stars.
Well, a lot of the stars are outside of our solar system. They're not like orbiting around the sun. But you got 2 of them, didn't you? What was the first one you said?
Moon and sun.
So I'm gonna go over here. Let's see if I can slide this over and make it a little bit better.
Can you actually see the sun though? Because you can't really see it because it's just not, it's only just let it kind of shine.
So the sun is a star. That's our star that we all orbit around. So we do have one star in our solar system, the sun. And then everything orbits around that. So we do have a star. We do have a sun. Did that answer it, or did you?
No, because you said the star, but we don't really see you said the sun,
Well,
but we don't really see the sun.
when the sun comes, you're not supposed to look at it directly because it's bad for your eyes. But you know, when the sun is up in the sky, you know, you're not looking at it directly, but you can tell the sun is there, right? You can see the sun. You're not supposed to look at it. So that's what I mean. Things that we either see. So we got 2 of them that we can see. The third one's a little harder. I don't know. Somebody might come up with that. So the first one is the moon, and the second one was the sun. We can see the moon at night, right, up in the sky. We can see it.
I have a question. Can it be inside the atmosphere?
Yes.
Of the sky? The clouds?
Well, you're getting closer. You're going back. The Earth. If you walk outside and you look down at the ground, are you looking at a planet?
Yeah.
You're looking at the Earth, right? So, Earth. Now we got to figure out our job today. We're going to be amateur astronomers, and we are going to make a model to show people, students like you, we're gonna show people what the moon, the earth, and the sun look like when you compare the sizes. So, to start off with, we gotta figure out what the order is of the size. Who thinks they know which is smallest and which is biggest? What's the smallest of these three objects? The moon. So this is the smallest. Which one is the next biggest? Which one? So
It's smaller than the moon.
go ahead.
It's smaller than the moon.
What? The Earth is smaller?
It's not. It's smaller.
So sometimes this is what's confusing is sometimes the moon looks huge, right? When you're looking in the sky, sometimes the moon can be tricky because depending on the way the light comes through our atmosphere, sometimes it looks really big. But the moon is smaller than the Earth. Usually the big thing is in the middle, and then the smaller stuff orbits around it. So you got the big thing is the Earth, and then the moon, because of the gravity, right? So the bigger thing usually grabs onto the smaller thing, and the same thing with the sun. We actually, through process of elimination, right, the only one left, this is medium, then the sun is the biggest one, right? So now, the key for us is to figure out how much bigger. Like if I asked you guys how much bigger is the Earth than the moon, do you guys think you know? It's kind of hard, right? It's kind of hard to understand that. So we're gonna go and we're gonna start making our model. So why don't you guys go ahead and grab your papers and follow me back to the back of the room. We're gonna come back here, guys. Go ahead and get up. You can leave your backpacks and so come on this way. Come on this way. Line up this way. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a model, and we're going to try to represent the moon, the Earth, and the sun. What color does the Earth look like from outer space? When you look at the Earth, what color does it usually look like? It usually looks kind of blue because of the ocean. So you see the blue marble? I'm going to give you guys a hint to start with. This is the Earth. So we're going to go through, do you see on the bottom of your page there, at the very, very bottom, it says vote 1 for moon. We're going to vote on which one of these, if this is the Earth and the moon is smaller, we only have actually 3 options for the moon. So you think the moon is this one, or this one? Look at the description and write down what you think for your vote 1 for the moon. And we're going to all figure this out. Don't worry if it's wrong. We're just trying to see what we think. So make a vote. You only have 3 choices because it has to be smaller than the blue marble, right?
I have a question. Does it get farther every single year?
A little tiny bit. The moon flies away like probably like an inch a year or less, you know. Just a little tiny bit. There's some like complicated physics that I probably don't even know. But over time, things like that can kind of lose speed and just fall away. Probably not for Bill or whatever. But. Okay, did everybody vote? Okay.
No.
Just pick one. Don't feel too bad. We're gonna get to vote 3 times. So if you guys want to change your vote, we can do that. Okay. Did anybody vote for? This is quinoa. This is quinoa. Little tiny seeds. Did anybody vote for quinoa? 2 votes for quinoa. Who voted for small steel ball? 2 votes for small. 3 votes. Good. Yes. Now the second one we have to do is the sun. So I made this one harder. I put a lot of different things. Look at all the way up to this. So now, which one do you think is the sun? Okay, go ahead and write your answer for vote number 1 for sun. Go ahead and pick which ball. But right now we're only doing the moon, the sun, and the earth. So we don't really need to worry about Jupiter and stuff like that. And don't worry if it's right or wrong. We're going to get to vote 3 times, and you get to change your answer as we figure out more stuff. Okay, did everybody put a vote down?
No. Make it smart.
Why 3 times?
What's that?
I would vote 3 times.
Because we're gonna get more information and we're gonna see if we change our mind. We're just gonna like learn more and more and see if we can make it better and better. Okay guys, so this here, I wanna show you a video. And we're gonna vote after this video. So everybody come and look at this one. It's a GIF. Do you know what a GIF is?
Wait, I have that.
Okay,
I got the science.
what do you guys see?
The sun.
And what else?
The earth.
That's actually the very
Mercury.
Mercury, the very first planet, Mercury. Now, does that little tiny, well, I ruined it. Does,
Tiny.
is it a big or a little sphere flying in front of the sun?
It's tiny.
Okay, that Mercury, planet Mercury, is almost the size of our moon. So if that's almost the size of the moon, how big of a moon do you think you have now? So revote. Now that you saw this little tiny thing fly across the front of the sun, so now to make a second vote for the moon and see if you guys change your mind, maybe you keep it the same.
I have a question.
Good.
So if you go out of the Earth's atmosphere, it's gonna look smaller than what it is inside.
So actually, as soon as we finish, I will show you something. I will explain all that. I promise. So just remember that. Just be patient. I'll do a little. I'll show you.
I have a question.
Okay. What's up? Another question?
No.
Oh, I thought you said yeah. Okay. So did everybody vote for their moon?
Yeah.
And now vote for a sun. Are you gonna change your vote for the sun, or are you gonna keep the same vote? You guys have to decide.
Small beach ball. The large beach ball.
And if you want to look back at the video to remind yourself how much bigger the sun is than the moon, you can look back at the GIF. The GIF is it's just like a 6-second video, right? Okay. So did everybody vote for the moon the second time? How many people voted for quinoa this time? It's called quinoa. This is this stuff. It's spelled weird, but it's called quinoa.
Oh.
So nobody voted for quinoa. Who voted for small scale ball?
Oh, we're supposed to put it in.
Yeah. It's okay. So it looks like almost everybody changed. Some people changed. Did you change from, somebody changed from large scale ball to small scale ball? So you guys made small. And what did you guys vote for the sun? Did anybody vote for any of these smaller ones? Okay. Which was the first one? Did anybody vote basketball?
No.
Beach ball? Small beach ball? Who voted small beach ball? 4? So everybody thinks this is small beach ball.
I put large beach.
That's you.
Okay, you guys can just stay here for 1 sec. I'm gonna show you one more piece of information. This is a math thing, so we're gonna all work on this together. So remember I was talking about diameter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the diameter of the moon is about 1,000 miles.
Why?
The diameter of the Earth, I'm gonna change it.
What?
The diameter of the Earth, guys, is about 4,000 miles.
What?
And then the diameter of the sun, the diameter of the sun, are you guys ready for this?
100,000.
400,000. How did you know that?
I don't know.
Did you guess?
Yeah.
How did you guess the right answer though?
Wait, I said 100,000.
Oh,
You shouldn't have told him. You should have let him think you were
I
really
would've-
good.
Yeah, I was gonna give you more candy. Just joking. You guys are all getting candy. Don't worry about any of that. So, if you look at the moon and the Earth, how many times bigger is 4,000 than 1,000? Guys, if you look at the moon and that's 1,000, how much bigger is 4,000 than 1,000?
3,000 times.
4. So the Earth, the diameter of the Earth is 4 times as big as the moon. So if the moon is this big, then we have to make the Earth 4 times that, right? And then to go from 4,000 to 400,000, how many times bigger is the sun than the earth?
100 times.
100. 100?
Yes. 100.
So guys, if you look in our model, we're trying to keep everything the same proportion. So if we have something as the moon, how much bigger does the earth have to be than the moon?
4 times.
And how much bigger does our sun have to be than our earth?
100.
Okay, so think about that. The diameter of our sun should be 100 times bigger. The sun should be 100 times bigger than our earth. Okay, so we're going to vote one last time. Think about how many times much bigger that
Can
is.
we pick up the objects? Can we pick up the objects?
So, not today. After we're done, I'm going to give you candy though. If you can just resist for a little bit longer, I'm going to give you candy to reward you. So.
Why can't we pick it up and be like,
No, because it's going to ruin our model. So vote one last time, guys, for your moon. Vote for the moon, guys. One last time. Should be your vote 3.